All right. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm Adrian from A League of Her Own. Welcome to the very first episode of the Baseball Junkies podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
And I'm your other host in Fuego.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us today. We are starting a baseball podcast. We are going to be talking about all things baseball in both MLB land and in card collecting land. Mr. Fuego and I met, in the YouTube community, doing our videos kind of thing. We started talking on the side. I wanted to see if he wanted to do a podcast with me. And here we are. So today we are going to get into a number of different things. We're going to talk about the MLB playoffs, of course. We're going to get into cards affected on the playoffs. We're going to get into a little of this, a little of that. We want to talk about you guys as well and all the cool videos you're making. We want to talk about a different grading company. We got a lot of things we want to get into today, but basically this podcast is just a way to communicate with people in the community about, our views on baseball, why we collect what we collect, and yeah, just something fun to do to hang out with you guys and communicate. So we're going to get right into the MLB playoffs, I think, right now. We started off our day today with an exciting one. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Phillies and their fans. That was one heck of a game today. It's been a crazy week in the playoffs as well. What are you thinking so far, Mr. Fuego?
That was a pretty good game. Let me see. I know earlier we was doing our little polls and determining who was going to win and move on to the next division. And this Philly Atlanta game actually was an upset for some. I mean, for today's game, you had Charlie Morton and Noah Syndergaard taking the mound, starting everything off. And the game was pretty intense. Some history went down. For example, you had JT Realmuto. He hit his first inside the park home run as a catcher, mind you. So I mean, that's pretty stellar. Final score was 8-3, and right now the Phillies will be waiting to play either the Padres or the Dodgers at either Petco or Dodger Stadium. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully, my opinion, hopefully San Diego actually comes through so we can see somebody else other than the Dodgers.
Yeah, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm an A's fan. You're a Yankees fan. Which I probably should have maybe mentioned that in the beginning, but you guys can figure it out. A lot of you guys know that. But that game was an exciting one to watch. That inside the park home run was just so much fun to watch. And then the excitement, you can feel the energy the rest of the game. They just had it. And that's not the team I was expecting to win. I thought the Braves were going to kill them. I like the Phillies. I like it. And I like the idea of the Padres as well, because they're kind of the underdog in this fight as well. So I'm all about the underdogs coming ahead sometimes. So yeah.
Definitely.
JG50 made a call. There's a dogfight between Astros and Mariners right now, and he ain't kidding. I'm looking. What are we in the top of the 12th now? Still no score. I mean,
yeah, I saw Larkin made a comment that they decided to go ahead and play too.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
know, so
Hats off to the Mariners on that, because whether I like it or not, whether anybody likes it or not, the Astros are good, and they're the team to beat.
they
And
are.
they are putting up a fight for sure, for sure. So those are the games we got so far, and I think Yankees and Guardians are started up here. We'll,
Yep,
obviously
they're in
step
the
into
bottom of
that.
the first,
Ah, yeah, it looks
and
like Cleveland already scored.
yeah, unfortunately. Now with the Yankees, Aaron Boone actually decided to make some sense with the lineup, And
Yeah,
I don't know if you actually watched the Yankees throughout the regular season, but there were a lot of games where he actually would have Judge leading off. Okay. And I
yeah.
get it solely because he was on that home run chase, but he already
Hmm.
got his 62. Why are you still leading him off? You don't want to put. I was watching a tweet that came out this morning from Alex Rodriguez, and he made it clear that you do not put your best hitter in the leadoff position because you have your weakest batters in the 7, 8, 9 hole, and it just puts that much more pressure on practically the best hitter leading off in the one spot. So for this
Yeah,
game, they got him lead. They got him batting right behind Gleyber Torres, which is smart.
yeah,
So we'll see how that works out.
yeah. I think that never made any sense to me. I've got a couple of huge Yankee fans in my family, so I do follow them pretty good throughout the year. I'm pretty sure my dad pretty much almost hung up the phone on me when we were watching the game when that stuff went down yesterday. And Dad is such a calm, collect guy, but those darn Yankees, man.
Yeah.
Um, Aaron Judge, it should be batting third, fourth, and all the time. I don't know. I get it, the home run chase, but now, dude, we need to win. You guys need to win some ball games. Stop messing around. It's like World Series time. We need to stop messing around.
Yeah, we
So
do.
yeah.
But real
So
quick though, I want to go ahead and take a moment to just shout out those that's in the chat right now. So we got Beast and Beauty Breaks, we got Big D Sports and Collectibles, Big Ray's Ball Cards and Auctions, B&D Ball Cards, Canadian Card Breakers, Carolyn Pratt, Claire's Card Craze, Demo Lover, Goody G, Hobby Hound, J&J Breaks, JG50, Kenny Weaver, Larkin 99, Mary Linehan, Miracle Cards, Rad and Dad and Where's B Dog, Ripping for Rookies, Sensei Domino 15, Victor Negron Cards, and W Vogs 18. We appreciate you guys for taking time out of your Saturday to hang out with us.
yes, thank you guys all so much, all huge card community members. And there's a few other people trickled in, some friends of mine, things of that nature. I appreciate you all so much. I hope you guys all know that. I know Mr. Enfuego does as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to Mr. Enfuego. Check him out. He's got some amazing videos, amazing editing skills. And if you guys like our content, well, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button. Appreciate you guys so much. Nice. All right. Yeah. All right. Going back to the playoffs real quick, I do want to mention other things of this week. I am really stoked about Yordan Alvarez. To me, he's like the up and coming Big Poppy of baseball, in my opinion.
Good comparison.
He's had some trouble in the outfield out there, but fortunately for him, he's on a team that like everybody's got a bat. He's got the run support, and he's bringing it too. He won a couple games for him this week, pretty much. Did the walk-off thing. So that's that's going to start diving into the card thing for me. What I was excited about in my personal PC, and I want to make sure I let everybody know we're just talking about cards here that we think are going to be affected by the playoffs and things of that nature. I collect for fun. I am not trying to make money. I'm not trying to make money for anybody. We're just talking about things we think we're going to see, in sales and stuff like that. So this is just for fun stuff. And I got to tell you, when I seen Yordan doing all that stuff, I'm really excited about my Yordan rookie cards, my Yordan, numbered stuff, because, I like it. I'm excited to own cards of players that make such like historical, moments in baseball. So that was one I was excited for this week. What do you think, Mr. Enfuego? What you looking at?
Well, just to piggyback off of what you said, yeah, I mean, I'm in the hobby solely for collecting, and there's times where there's certain individuals, they talk about the hobby, but on a business and investment aspect of it, and I just cringe at it because I mean, in my mind, and chat, you could let us know too. Last time I checked, this hobby was ultimately designed for kids. You know, we all started at an early age. We stopped for whatever reason, then we decided to pick it back up for whatever reason. A lot of us do it for the collectability, for the joy of actually collecting, but you've got some, that's made this hobby into a full-time business. They try to do tax write-offs, W-2s, and all this other good stuff, and then they get mad when you've got other individuals in the same business. They drop these rumors about how the hobby is dying or whatever the case may be, and everybody now is in panic mode. For individuals like myself, and I'm sure Adrian's in the same boat, I don't think the hobby is, if the hobby was to crash, it would affect me, because the only investment that I got into it is adding to my personal collection. I'm not looking to make a flip or, pay my bills with it. I'm just doing it just to collect it. Kind of like what you said. It's all for the history aspect.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I collect. I sell as well. I do the. I got to turn in taxes for it and stuff. But I'm not. It's a hobby. I want, like, if anything, I might be trying to make money to pay for my hobby, but not. This is not in something that I personally full-time job. Now, if somebody wanted to do that, yeah, it's too risky for me, and it's not what it's about to me. So to me, I want this to be fun. I don't want to turn it into a job, but I do things like when I get cards graded, there's always one or two in there that I plan on selling to kind of to pay for the submission. It's not to pay my car bill or things of that nature. So I mean, nothing wrong with doing that. Nothing wrong with flipping a card here and there. I like to sell cards that I don't collect. Of course, I mean, and there's some people that don't sell at all. They strictly collect or trade. Some people will only trade, which I'm down with too. But yeah, it's for me, it's about collecting and giving away too. To be honest, I know we all do this. Community is huge on that. There's nothing I love more, especially with kids, to send them a card of their favorite player. Like, and dude, when you're a kid, if I was a kid and I got an autograph card, I would have lost my mind. I remember meeting, like, I met Carney Lansford when I was, I don't know, it must have been 11 or 12 at a car wash in town, and he signed the back of the like business card of the car wash for me. Dude, I was on cloud 9 for weeks.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, tell everybody, So anyways, that's what I'm going on that. And as far as the hobby dying, whatever, prices are going down. Let's be real, and that's exciting for me. There's stuff that is affordable now that I couldn't afford before personally. Like, I was just telling you, playoffs, all this stuff. I didn't own a Freddie Freeman rookie card, and I was like, whoa, I gotta fix that. And I go on there, and I was like, dude, I thought I was going to be looking at like $100 for a Freddie Freeman rookie card. That's not the case right now.
No,
I think I ended up splurging on a PSA 9 for $45. Dude, that's exciting to me. So, yeah. But
I mean, it again, kind of like what you said, if I do sell a card or whatever the case may be. It's just to replenish or add to my current collection. So, and like I know for a fact, there's some folks that are outside of my collection for the most part that I invest in solely because I like him as a player. Not because of what he brings as far as revenue, but for the fact of what he's done, his performance, and basically just the collectability of the person.
Yeah.
For example, I was not expecting to pick up a Juan Soto autograph as of recent based off of just who he was these last couple of years. He's been having a little bit of an off season and everything started dipping a little bit. So I was like, ooh, that is awesome. Let me go ahead and jump on that,
Yeah.
So,
I
but,
hear you on that. I picked up my Juan Soto auto when he was on his downfall, like the last season when he had the injury and he came back.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, my opinion, everybody panics when somebody gets hurt, like Wander Franco. And I'm like, all right, this is my time to buy. Like, because
Tatis is
all
the
of a sudden
perfect
everybody's trying to
example.
unload. And I'm like, you guys, he's a great player and he did great stuff. He just signed that contract. Like, and anything could happen. That's the other thing. Like why cards, you just like the whole investing, like collecting. Yeah. Like I just think he's going to be a great player and I'm going to want to own a piece of that history, that rookie card and have it on my wall. Like, it's also nice when your favorite team, like there's a lot of great rookie cards where people started on the A's and nobody buys the A's. Yeah.
Right. And Hobby Hound, he says it best. The hobby has endured through baseball strikes, the 94 strike, for example, the house market collapse, wars, crazy inflation, and a lot of things are going to get thrown at us that's going to affect the sport, the hobby. Only thing is like that he said is that has to change the ridiculous prices that some cards have sold for. And I agree with that. But again, the card is only going to be as valuable as whoever's going to pay for it. Like I think at this last national, an SGC 10 of a 52 Mantle, I think sold for like $13 million or something like that.
Dang.
At one point it was Hans Wagner's T206. It barely broke like $2 million, but then Mickey Mantle comes out of left field with double figures, and I'm just like, wow, But what do you think about, for example, you got the Phillies and you got the Braves, you got some pretty big names in both those teams.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper being one, what's the likelihood in his collectability changing based off of them moving on to the championships since 2010?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're laying down. Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking of. I'm sorry. I'm going off aside here because I was thinking. I was kind of excited. I was kind of hoping better for the Braves because my boy Matt Olson was over there. Went over there from the A's, and like when somebody plays so good like that on the A's, and then they go to a team, you hope they can't be on your team. I personally hope they're successful elsewhere, and I have a ton of Matt Olson rookie cards, so I was feeling good. Like if he goes on and goes, he was doing great. He had a home. He's doing Matt Olson things, and of course going on to the World Series and stuff would have only meant even better things for both him and for his collectability because not a lot of people were high on Matt Olson simply because he was on the A's. I've got a lot of Josh Donaldson. I'm trying to think. Freaking Aaron Judge was in their farm system.
Yeah.
For a minute there. I don't think he had any cards on the A's. I don't think. But just some things to think about. Playoffs and World Series and stuff only helps. So your Phillies, Bryce Harper. I gotta look. I'm not sure if I have a JT Realmuto, but he's going to be a catcher. Quite frankly, he's probably the best catcher in the league. I'm trying to think who to compare him to. Shout out at me, chat. Who's comparable in the National League? Because I feel like Sean Murphy is the best in the American League, but I'm biased.
Yeah,
and he
gets over the biasness.
Yeah,
I definitely hear that bias.
Just saying, just my thoughts.
I mean, I could go with Luis Trevino. I mean, he's a catcher for the Yankees. I could go that route.
Dude, okay, that guy impressed the heck out of me this year. Was not expecting. Wasn't he the second string Yankee at first? And all of a sudden, he comes up.
He was the backup's backup.
Boy, can hit too. I was impressed with him. Yeah, I'll give him a star. I see hobbyists talking about Yachty. Definitely, to me, Yachty, awesome legend. Hall of Famer, but he's done. He's retired now, so I'm not going to include him in the group. He's definitely was up there, though. I'll give him that for sure. Brandon Marsh did himself some hobby love. Brandon Marsh, Brandon Marsh was on the Angels for a minute, and I went to a couple A's games last year, and I got to see him play in person. That guy has some skills.
He was a monster in the preseason in spring training, but when the season kicked off, it's like, what happened?
Yeah. Ooh. Lock in 99, Salvador Perez.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a solid pick. That's a solid pick too.
Definitely.
That guy can bat. Who's the? Is it
Mike?
Alejandro
So does that
Kirk?
mean that you're gonna pick up on Hans Kraus cards now?
Who's picking up Hans Kraus? Not are you talking to me? You talking about Ripping for Rookies?
Ripping for Rookies just stated that his card value is actually going up as we speak.
Yeah, so maybe we shouldn't burn them anymore.
But now the collectability of a player in this time of the season can actually hurt you. Let's take Aaron Judge for example. Mm-hmm. He had a monster year for 162 games. Games 1 and 2 of the division series, he's 0-8.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, game 2, he got booed for striking out.
Oh man, I seen that. Man, these freaking New York fans are
we are vicious. We don't play.
Harsh. Yeah, no, you guys don't play. That's why I feel total side tangent conversation, but that's why I feel like Joey Gallo did horrible there. Like
it's hard
I don't think you can handle some people can't handle the heat of just the press and the atmosphere of New York.
No, it's a jungle out there.
It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. And I'm not in any way saying Joey Gallo is weak, but I'm talking about, I guess, balance, being able to balance baseball, life, things of that nature. I felt so bad for him when he was talking about not leaving his apartment when he's in New York and stuff, because I wouldn't either. I'd be scared, but
that's self-inflicted. I mean, a lot of the folks that we've had go through the Yankees and are no longer, they did fine to a certain extent that they felt, management felt that their services were no longer needed. But I mean, a lot of these ball clubs are not for everybody. I could say the same thing for the Dodgers, maybe the Astros, but the New York fans, especially the Yankees, you got to come with your A game and then some. So, but
it seems like one of the coolest teams to be able to play for.
It's like the smaller teams are more laid back, It's like going to grandma's house. Mom's being the clown. I'm gonna go to grandma's house. I get to do whatever the hell I want, not even worry about it.
Yeah, for reals. I like how my brother always says, like, you go to whenever I want to go to an Oakland game, he's like, we can go, like, I'm like, you buy tickets in advance and stuff for a game. He's like, no, not in Oakland. You get there, you can sit wherever you want. You can do whatever, because it's just it's completely different type of atmosphere, fan base, and organization.
So Adam is asking, what are our thoughts about baseball already talking about the mess up on the long layoffs for the better teams getting such a long layoff due to the 3 games in the wild card round? The time off, I mean, that's all on management, honestly. I mean, if let's take the Yankees for example, if they went they got to buy in the in the wild card. Okay, so they had 5 days of rest. Me being a manager, I would not consider it rest. I would still do training drills, keep the bullpen training, batting practice.
Get some scrimmages. I'd have some scrimmages
Exactly,
going.
because I mean, it you don't want to be that team that goes cold into a new season, because a lot of teams, they rely on that consistency. If you give them that off time, you give them that one lazy moment, it's real easy to, how did we say it back in the military? It's real easy to get demoted, but it's hard to keep your current rank. Okay. So I mean, look what happened with Aroldis Chapman. They announced that they was going to do mandatory training on Friday. Where was Aroldis at? He was in Miami. And his reason for being in Miami was because he felt that if he was guaranteed to be on that 26-man roster for the division series, then he would have came up. So both Cashman and Boone said, okay, you know what? Stay in Miami. We can do this without you. That's just the way I look at it. I mean, it's what you do with when you're not playing, how you're using that time.
So, okay. Yeah, I agree with you. My thing on that, I know a lot of players don't like this, but looking at it from another perspective, baseball is a business and a job, and more playoff games is good for business. You are a professional, make it work. You're going to be in the playoffs. You've got this opportunity. You've got no pun intended, but you got a curveball thrown at you. You adapt, and the winner, the greats, the winners adapt, make it happen. That's my opinion on that. It's been happening with baseball forever. You need to adapt and make it happen. I think Dusty Baker, I heard him talking about that. He was concerned, what he was trying to figure out what to do with that time off. And I guess he called maybe Tony La Russa, something like that. Cause the last time there was a break like that is back in '89 when the earthquake happened, the World Series, they had to take days off, to get things so they can play again. So I think he was talking to them. Dusty Baker's, I like him. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
I like him. I liked him better when he's the coach on the Giants, but whatever. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But anyways.
Oh man. But the Seattle and Houston game, they are still going at it.
Dude, I know.
They're at the bottom of the 12th, I believe it is.
Yep.
Ooh, but there was some highlights for this game too. I mean, who would expect for Felix Hernandez to come back as a free agent, not signed with nobody, to throw out the first pitch?
That's super cool.
I mean,
love Felix.
Oh yeah, I mean, right now his perfect game from 2012 is the latest one that is still the last thrown perfect game. So I mean,
oh wow,
yeah,
that's awesome.
And right now, both teams, they're giving it their all, and I think Houston is having a hard time putting Seattle away. But at the same time, Seattle is scratching and clawing just to extend this series, because nobody wants to go home on a sweep, and I get it, But I mean, you got some key players from both these teams, also kind of like what you pointed on earlier. Yordan, he came clutch game 1. Hit a home run in game 2 that ultimately ended the game, and now I know for a fact anybody who collects Yordan is pretty happy and stoked about what he's been doing up to this point. Also,
Dude's a beast. He's a
yeah.
beast. And like I said before, it reminds me of Big Poppy, kind of like, dig it. All right. We'll still continue on with the playoff talk, of course. We were wanting to get in, I didn't messed up on here. I didn't do any of my banners, different topics, but we were going to talk about our PC preferences. Also talk about, what we prefer, raw versus graded, or how we pick. Sometimes, raw versus graded, things of that nature. For me, I don't really care if it's raw or graded. I like having graded cards. I like certain cards to be preserved. I like a lot of times it comes down to price for me. Obviously, it's going to be cheaper raw. Usually, most of the time, depending on the day, current, whatever's going on, it's going to be cheaper to do raw over graded. Depends on the player. A lot of different things. But for some of my favorites, I like to get them graded. I like to present them. I like to preserve them. I've gotten stuff that has no business being graded in the money aspect of it, but like we said before, that's not what it's about for me. I have a Willie Mays, like 1972 Willie Mays card that creased all over. My uncle gave me when I was young, and that was just one of those moments in collecting that, like, it I don't know, it just sticks in my brain. It sticks in your brain forever. It's like that one of those memories as your kid, like just one of the, maybe best moments of my life kind of thing. And I knew when I started getting cards graded, I was like, oh yeah, that's getting slabbed up for sure. And it came back a whopping PSA 2, and it's the best PSA 2 card in the world as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So, things like that. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes for me, like getting stuff graded, the gamble of it, like I'll buy something on eBay raw. Sometimes a couple of them, I'm like, I'll look it over and I'm like, oh yeah. And if it comes back a 9 or a 10, I feel like I won the lottery.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think? How are you on raw and graded?
Well, here's my thing. Okay. And I've gotten grief about it for years. So my grandfather, when I was younger, he left me a 51 Bowman and a 52 tops Mickey Mantle. They're still in top loaders.
Whoa.
Okay.
Really?
Everybody's been bugging me about why you don't get those graded. Why don't you get those graded? They should be graded.
I didn't see that coming from you either. I would have expected them to have been graded by you.
If they were supposed to be graded, my grandfather would have had them graded. That's just the way I look at it. Okay.
All right.
I personally think that it's preference, kind of like with you. I mean, I'm looking at your background now, and the stuff that you has hold a special place in your heart. Yeah, you want to send it out and preserve it, so you want to go ahead and send it out for grading, with really no hopes of gemming up everything that you submit, because if that's the case, you'll get crushed almost every damn time. But just the fact that you actually have it in some type of protection, so that you can hang it up on your shelf, hang it up on a wall, whatever the case may be, that's what I'm doing. Okay, anything that I do plan on getting in a slab, it's at some point I'm gonna go ahead and use that for decorations.
Okay.
Then you have individuals that I've seen who would prefer having raw cards solely because they do not know what it takes or the process on how to send something to get graded.
Oh, that's a really good point. there's so many people afraid of the grading process, but rightfully so. Rightfully
And then,
so.
yeah, I mean, people they hear the war stories. I just sent 20 cards to PSA, and it's already 13 months, and I'm still waiting on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Freyla wants me to do
waiting,
a video
waiting
on the
on
mana.
cards, waiting on cards, preparing the cards. I don't know. They just don't know what it entails. Don't even look into it because they're afraid to do it, or to think it's too expensive. I have people all the time asking to submit cards for them, and I'm like, are you don't. I'm just I'm nobody. I just look them over best I can. I can't promise you anything. Like, but that's a super good point. I do. That's funny. There's a guy that I know collects all doesn't want anything graded, and I have never seen so many one touches in my entire life. All his favorite cards he'd one touch, and he had his own stickers made, and he's got his collection all one touches.
Yeah,
Looks fantastic. But
and that suits him. You may
Yeah.
have somebody like, and I'll pick on somebody in the chat. Let's say Demo. He wants to have a display case of every Mike Trout that he owns, but it has to be in a PSA, grade no lower than an 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you've got individuals that have that personal preference.
I get that. You got somebody that I get that where you're like want only PSA 10s or something like that. I get that, but yeah, there's so many different variables. So just to get like more personal, what is your personal PC? Who do you like to collect? I know a lot of people in here know already, but we're doing a podcast here. Let's who's your person? What are some of your favorites? What are some of your favorite cards in your PC? What do you look for? What do you got?
So obviously, I collect the New York Yankees because that's home. But specifically, I would actually. Thanks, Adam. My personal individualized player is Alex Rodriguez. Despite all his controversy with the steroids and everything, with him, I just liked him as a ball player in general, from his time in the Mariners, moving to the Rangers, and then with the Yankees. All that stuff about the steroids and how he was going to sue the team doctor and all that stuff was irrelevant to me. That did not determine or play a factor in me collecting them. Some of the key things that I actually have of Alex Rodriguez,
I hear you
obviously
like Debbie Garcia. Ripping for Rookies wanted you like.
There's certain individuals within the card community who has forced him on me like a wart. Okay, I'm not gonna mention Rad Dad and B Dog. I'm not gonna mention Ripping for Rookies, but there's some of them that's out there. Okay,
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, you could see in my background that jersey that's hanging up. That's an Alex Rodriguez jersey.
Oh, sweet.
I've got a baseball of his on my shelf here. I mean, everything and anything that I can possibly get that is Alex Rodriguez affiliated, I want it. And I don't care if it has doubles, triples, quad, doesn't matter to me,
Awesome.
And I'm pretty sure you do the same thing with your favorite guy also. And I believe it's Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson, man.
Yeah.
Can't get enough Ricky Hendersons. That's funny. But I feel you on A-Rod. Like, I'm a huge Red Dan B Dog just reminded me too. I'm a huge Jose Canseco fan. Like, he was one of my favorites growing up, and you can't say steroids without saying Jose Canseco all in the same breath. So I get it. I just feel I like, somebody explained it to me really nice the other day. I like it. That was the era of baseball at the time. That was just the game at the time, So, I know there's people that love Barry Bond. Like, it's not, I know that's something they did, but that's more than what they were. Alex Rodriguez. I hated Alex Rodriguez for a long time. I really like him now, especially like listen to him talk now and stuff that happens in the past. And and we always got to remind yourself, these guys were in their 20s when all this stuff started. Who made all good decisions in their 20s? I sure didn't.
I haven't.
And these guys are coming up, possibility of making all kinds of money, doing all this stuff. So
yeah,
I totally respect the Alex Rodriguez collection. Just like I got Jose Canseco's, Ricky Henderson's. And right now, you guys, my favorite PC, not even an Oakland A's player, is Bo Bichette, because when I started getting back into collecting the end of 2018, the beginning of 2019, right before the boom started. It was awesome for a second. Then everything got really crazy. But 2020, I think I bought a hobby box of everything there was. It was ridiculous. And Bo Bichette was one of the top rookies. And so then I started, when baseball finally came back in 2020, we were all starving for it. And I was watching him play, and I was like, this guy's amazing. Like, so it just all went hand in hand. And I still collect my A's players, when they're for the 6 months they're on the team. And, but I still, Bo Bichette, and my A's players, by the way, like, I'm still collecting Matt Chapman, Matt Olson in their new unis for sure.
Right.
Happy for those great players to move on to teams for organizations that will pay for their team to make moves, to do things in baseball. So
appreciate the update there, demo lover. Judge just went deep
2-2. Awesome. I just read that too. That's awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. All right.
But yeah, I mean, that
still a 13th inning.
Graded. I think if you know what you're doing, you'll indulge in getting a few things graded. Okay. Yeah. I mean, before, I think it was last week, you went ahead and purchased a microscope, the same exact one that I got,
Yeah.
And I ended up getting that because I myself have not yet sent anything for grading. I've always sent it through a third party or whatever. Okay. But at some point, when I do have the intestinal fortitude to send out my own submission, I want to go in having enough knowledge to prepare them, know what I want to send in, know what to look for, and send them off confidently, expecting certain grades to come back, not being shocked, so
100%. Hold that thought. Claire, I just read your comment, girl. I'm gonna hold you to that for sure. She said if I ever come visit her in Chief, we'll go to a Jays game. You got it. I'll bring all my Bo Bichette garb. I'll be ready to go. I'm paint my back to the grading thing. When I started getting back into cards, the grading cards was a total, had no idea, but I was like so into card collecting that I couldn't get enough information, couldn't get enough of all the different, alleys and dip, possibilities. So I knew of PSA, I knew of BGS. Those were the only two I knew of. I personally, I don't like BGS slabs. I know they're probably the best built. Everybody tells like most protective. If your cards fall in a swimming pool, I want to know why your cards were by the swimming pool. Just saying, but things happen, whatever. But so I looked into PSA and I, started doing a couple. You pull out some of your cards from when you're a kid and stuff like that, and you start going through and you start watching videos. That's how I got onto YouTube. You start watching videos of what people did,
right?
And you get all this stuff, and then more I looked into it. I was like, oh, PSA is the way to go as far as the most value. It seemed like it was the most respected in the graded card world. BGS didn't even have a way to order or put in submissions online. You had to print out paperwork and fill it out by hand. I was like, are you serious right now? It's 2019, dude. Like,
yeah.
I don't trust that for, it's just like this. It was like if I went to a card shop and if the guy behind the counter pulls out a Beckett to price my cards, I leave. I appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I got to go.
Well, here's the thing. how many card shows have you gone and you always find grandpa who's selling vintage stuff and his entire display is raw, and you look at his label, it always has those two little letters, BV, book value. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they base their prices off of,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
eye the grade.
And like bless their hearts, don't get me wrong. Like if you had a hobby shop and that's what you did for years, like I get that, but you didn't like gotta progress and eBay or whatever. I don't know if anybody uses like market movers or stuff like that. I always just look on eBay sold comps and 130 point for
Yeah.
uh like card sales and things of that nature. But yeah, I don't want to bash on those guys too
I
bad.
mean,
Bless their hearts,
a lot of those
but
guys, you know,
I can't
a
buy
lo-
from them. A lot of them don't think I know cards though. Usually those guys don't like to talk to me anyway, so it's totally fine. You guys,
yeah.
you do you, and I'll do me. I'll go get my PSA 9s and 10s back.
Yeah, exactly. You
So
know, matter of
yeah.
fact, my last car show that I went to the one in Orlando. I think I did a video for it. And I see two gentlemen just arguing about their inventory. And the first thing that came to my mind was just, oh, you got two old men just hacking it out, talking about baseball in their day, you know. But then when they in my opinion, they try to have that type of contest. Okay, it almost got physical, you
Oh my
know.
gosh.
It,
Yeah.
but
I
it was a funny physical.
I bet. I gotta be honest. That's why I tend to stay away from card shows unless I know like like local card shows. I just feel sometimes it's like this competition going on. Not always. There's been some great people there's a lot of great people in the hobby that sell stuff, but everyone's you like it's like almost like this competition and like, oh, this card's worth this and this, and I'm like, dude, this is an awesome card. Let's just have fun here. Like I don't want to fight. I just want so
Yeah.
but yeah.
Beast
So
puts it perfectly. When he had his card store, there were no graded cards just because it was just getting started when he had to shut down for whatever reason, but he would
mhm,
never put book value on his inventory because it was bad for
good for
business.
business.
So, which makes
Yeah.
sense.
It makes sense. Gosh, I have to own a card shop. It would be tough because I feel like one of the huge pet peeves that I hear from people that are buying cards when they go places, they're like, "Oh, nothing's priced, nothing's priced," and
Hmm.
it's like the price can change daily. Like, so it's just one of the gosh, that's got to be tough. But
Yeah,
yeah, but grading. Shall we move on to our next topic? Shall I get the next banner going here? We're pretty excited to talk about this next topic.
definitely.
Yeah. All right. So, we are not affiliated with this company in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. Uh, Beast told me about this newer grading company called Tag Grading.
Hmm.
Tag
And tag
stands.
stands for I just had it too. It's
I
give me
know.
a moment. Oh, technical authentication and grading.
Yes. And I'm gonna drop something on you. I didn't tell you about that. I didn't tell you this. I'm gonna drop this right now. When we were talking about doing this podcast and we were coming up with topics, and you said to me like, "Hey, we should look into this grading company." And I tag grading, and I think my eyes rolled so far in the back of my head, I fell
You
out of my.
did. You did.
I was
You
like,
gave me the whole.
Be gone, fuck!
That's how I felt. Okay. I was
and
like, wow.
I'm like, man, this is a topic he wants to talk about. All right, be nice, be cool. And so I watched the video you sent me, and I watched some more because I have submitted to since obviously I do PSA. I've sent into SGC. I've sent into HGA. I have graded cards from CSG. I feel like I'm pretty vocal about my feelings on all of these companies. So the thought of, and I had just gotten to the point, especially with all the stuff going on in the hobby and the pricing and all this stuff, I had set in my mind that I'm just doing PSA cards, and if I felt like going at PSA and SGC, the tuxedo ones, were the only companies I was going to deal with. I had a horrible experience with HGA. I don't like CGS's slabs. I've seen some other companies out there like Gem Mint and things like that, and it just all seemed very sloppy to me. It didn't seem like anybody was. It doesn't seem like anybody's listening, and PSA, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot. I feel like that company's got a lot of work to do, but they were the best of the worst, if that makes sense. So anyways, tag rating, we'll watch the videos. I'll let you talk about them more. This is your idea, but I'm excited now. I'm excited.
So here's what I gathered. Okay, when I'm not making videos for myself or I'm out with the community or whatnot, I like to indulge and see what YouTube has to offer. So I ran into a video that was actually talking about tag grading company, and in my mind, I'm like, what is this? So the first thing that actually caught my attention with this company, the grading method itself. Okay. So basically, tag was 10 years in the making. And the reason why it took so long is because no humans are grading what you're submitting. Everything is done through AI. Okay. Um, and there's been arguments that I've seen in videos where, what if there was an update in the grading system and it didn't catch it and it throws off the grade? You got individuals that put time, effort, and money into this system to make sure that is a fully functional machine, that there will be no flaws or almost none, because there's no such thing as a perfect world. But okay, a lot of hobbyists, I'm not even going to say collectors or investors because we're all one and the same. A lot of the hobbyists, they're starting to have a different perspective on having a computer do the grading versus an actual human. Because who's to say I send in, a 2011 Mike Trout rookie, okay, knowing that if it comes back a 10, that's a payday. But I have Mr. Beast here who works as a grader in PSA. Let's just say that he had a bad night the night prior. He comes to work the next morning. He runs across my 2011 Mike Trout. He knocks it for whatever reason. He nitpicks. Okay. He's going to end up taking his frustration out on the card. And when the card gets back to me, I'm going to feel some kind of way because I fully expected, because I've done everything that I can, get a 10, but he's saying no. He just posted now. No, every card gets an 8.5. I'm gonna feel some kind of way. But now with the CEO, the Steve Cass, so his thought going into making this company was, one, it took him 10 years to actually come up with what he's got going on now. Also, he did a little science project. So what he did was he took 200 cards out of his 400,000 card collection and sent them to the big three companies, PSA, BGS, SGC, for grading. Okay. After they made their turnaround, their go around the first time, he cracked them all out of his those cases, sent those same cards back a second go around. And what he noticed was the cards that he ended up getting back after the second go around, they got a higher grade. And you would think the opposite, because if I come back with this PSA 7 Mickey Mantle, okay, I'm gonna crack it out of its case and resubmit it to a different company and expect a higher grade. You would think you're putting risk on damage to that card if you handle it in such an aggressive manner, But in his little science project, they came back higher than what they went the first time around. So that led him to believe that there's a flaw in the system. You can't have humans doing this because of whatever reasons, whether it's life, the individual, because you put the same card in front of you, Adrian, and myself, guarantee we're not going to come up with the same grade.
100%.
Okay, because there's things that you'll catch that I won't, and vice versa. So he decided, let's cut everything off at the ankles. Let's have a machine do it. A machine is not biased. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't have emotions. There's no such thing as a bad day. So
I dig that. I went in and looked into that further because I thought that was the same thing that HGA was doing.
Okay.
Similar, but it's not.
Right.
So reason being, some of the video that you sent me, and I can't remember the name of the guy right now, popular podcaster or YouTuber, but they went through and showed the process, and the some of the things I really like about them is you want to do a submission, and they're still in their beginning stages right now, so they have a couple different options on their site, but you put in for a submission and they send you first. You don't send anything to them first. They send you the supplies, the stuff they want you to use for the cards you want graded. So we're going to be, me and Mr. Enfuego are going to be doing a submission with them to give them a test run. You don't know anything about them yet. There we go. We're each picking 10 of our own cards. They had like a 10, 20, 30 card option on there. They've got, I got it.
I can help you out here. So
thank you.
They got 3 packages. So for 30 days, it's $22 a card. Okay. So if you send, it's $22 a card, right? But now they actually have certain criteria of what cards you could send solely because they're still a new company. For example, the grading standard cards is 2.5 inches by 3.5. Nothing no older than the year 2000. Okay. Max 55 point stock. They are not accepting die cuts, rounded, autos, lenticular, acetate, or any type of memorabilia because they just don't have the slabs to actually put them in. Okay.
Beast is making a comment that they're just, you have to do a minimum of 40 cards. I didn't see that on the website. I saw options for 10, 20, and 30 card submissions when I went on there. I had that site up.
I'm looking at it right now. 20 cards, $23 a card for a total of 4.6.
Do you see something on there about 40 card minimum? Is he looking at something different? Selected package.
If you look at the grading packages, they actually have 10, 20, and 40. And if you win the 20 block, their best value is the one that's going for 60 days. Okay.
Yeah.
But for this little test run that we're doing, we're going to do the 20 cards, but we're actually going to do it at a 30-day to see if they hold true to what they're saying. And I mean,
they have an option for 14 days too, guys.
Yeah.
It's more expensive, but it was like $27 a card. It's not like crazy.
It's insane.
I know the options are limited right now, like you were saying there, because they're doing a test run right now. But so I'm watching this video. I'm excited about it. They're doing the AI thing. So here's the thing that I saw that was different that I know everybody wants. I know everybody wants this. They grade your card. You get an 8 on it. We'll just say you got an 8. You get your card back. You scan it with your phone or you type it in on their website. They pull your card up and they show you. They got indicators on the card where they dinged it at. They show you why you got the grade you got. Is there another grading? No, there's not. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Yeah, there's no company that will tell you what they dinged you on, and let alone show you.
Show you. It's your card. They've got scanned in on this thing on their computer program. I got to tell you, this isn't even the best part for me though, too. So like I told you guys, I was rolling my eyes at first, and now I'm like excited because of that. Now shows me where it gets dinged. And, you know, we were just talking about how we put in all this time looking over our cards. But like you said, we're human beings. We make mistakes. Things happen. It'll show me where it gets dinged at. All right, cool. I'm still a collector. I want the pretty card for the display. The slabs are completely translucent, by the way, which is pretty awesome. And so when you're doing your reveals like I do, I thought it was going to make it more difficult, but there's a thing they're doing, dude. You get this box back, this beautiful box back from Tag. You feel like you're opening your Christmas present, the one you've been waiting for all year. And the cards, each slab, they put in a pack.
Say what?
Yeah, like you open it, like you open up a baseball card pack. They put your slab in that. So say you're doing even if you're not doing a reveal video, so now you're pulling your cards you're getting graded out. You don't know which one you're pulling out.
So your submission is ultimately a mystery pack.
Yeah. Now I know they're gonna ask, like, do they send you the grades before you send them back? I don't know yet. That's why we're doing
that we don't know.
Thing. That's why we're doing the test run for you in a few weeks. Hopefully we'll still be doing this podcast. Yes.
But now,
we're going to tell you.
Here's what I want to know from the chat. So if you take PSA, BGS, SGC, they use your standard grading 1 through 10, 10 being gem mint, or in BGS's case, pristine. What are your thoughts on Tag? They use that standard as well, but at the same time, they have a Tag standard which converts to 1,000-point conversion. So, for example, I was looking at the chart the other day, and basically, they have 1,000-point scale. Okay, so they will, if you look at the slab, they'll give you the basic standard 10, 9, whatever the case may be. But inside the QR code, they actually put the Tag point conversion of that grade. So now, for example, if I remember correctly, anything that is 975 to 1,000 under Tag standards, that's considered pristine. Okay, so what are your thoughts on the 1,000-point scale that correlates with the actual basic grading standard? Demo, to answer your question, they actually have 4 patents for their entire company. That's why it took so long for them to get up and running. But
and I'll probably once I upload this onto YouTube for people who want to go back and watch or listen, I'll put in the description some of the videos that we watched, probably specifically that one where the guy was going and talking to one of the founders and showing them all the process and all the different things. And it did turn me. I was like not into doing another graded card deal, but this is pretty cool. And the slabs, I'm not going to know for sure till I hold it in my hand, but I tell you what, they look pretty cool. They look pretty clean. I'm excited about sending them chromey looking cards.
Now here's the thing about those slabs. The reason there was a video that I was watching. The reason why they look the way they do is because they want their slabs to resemble their grading strategy. You know,
Completely
completely transparent.
yes. And
You
I,
know,
I
and
really liked how he talked about the cards are like art, and it's
Mhm.
all about showing off the card, and they're looking pretty cool. So I'm excited to see these in person.
Yeah.
I'm excited we're doing this. I'm
And again, we're not sponsored by Tag. We're not
No.
getting anything out of this. We're
Nope.
going into this as guinea pigs. And we're gonna put together our own personalized submission. And then once they come back, we'll actually present to everybody on our podcast once they come back what they come back as far as grades, and you'll get to see firsthand what an actual slab looks like and what it is that we got slabbed.
Yeah.
But
So
just to go back on the 1,000-point scale, and y'all could tell me differently, I would look at that 1,000-point scale as if you take a BGS slab, for example, you got the regular 1 to 10 grade, but you also have those subgrades, like you get a 9.5 for corners, surface, and all that stuff. I would look at that 1,000-point scale, kind of like a subgrade, if you will. It pinpoints where you at on that standard 1 to 10 scale.
I don't know how I feel about that yet. I mean, I guess right at the moment, I'm just like, I don't care because there's nothing to compare Tag with. The regular standard now, maybe along the lines, if this company goes on to be successful, you know, we all can hope, kind of thing. That might be another, like, I mean, obviously, if you got one in the pristine level kind of thing, obviously, it, in my opinion, would be worth more.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine that's how people would look at it. So, it's just,
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig like that they're doing so many of their own things here and kind of listening to the collectors, listening to people about, you know, what they want. You know, I feel like we've been saying this forever, and it's just been, you know, well, and that's why we're doing this. We'll see what their, you know, customer service is like, I'm sure, and things of that nature. I do dig the label demo. It's the card's completely translucent.
I mean, it's not even a label. It's
like
engraved.
it's etched in. It's like it's etched in. So
it's an engravement.
Yeah. I'll definitely check out their site. I'll put that in the description as well. Also on that note, probably I'm thinking next week we'll probably talk about this again, because by then I will have gotten your cards. Mr. Fuego's sending the cards to me, and then I'm going to send them, because the company is based out of Los Angeles, I believe. And I think next week I'll show the cards. I'm revisiting, because I thought, you know, Mr. Fuego was going to send me some nice, like, base rookies, maybe some chrome rookies, something like that. And he shows me a picture of his list, and I'm pretty sure I was like, do you have anything on this list that's numbered higher, like, than 50? He sent me all these gold, like, amazing cards. So I gotta up my game a little bit. I gotta up my game. This Blaze Jordan paper first, that ain't gonna cut it. That's not gonna. That's might as well be toilet paper. Gosh.
Okay, so I got one question for you. What are those?
Oh man.
I mean, it's kind of like what I brought up to you before, Adrian. If we're gonna try something new, I might as well go ahead and go hard or go home.
Yep. I'm excited. So. I was in a break yesterday. Besides ripping for rookies, awesome break, by the way. I was in a Topps Finest break where there's like a player break where there's only Bo Bichette's, and I have a gold Topps Finest flashback Bobo coming, so I'm hoping that's gonna meet my standards to send in, because I know that thing's gonna look pretty, and it will look really pretty in that slab. Yeah. So that brings me on to our final topics of the of the day, I want to talk about the cardmunity. The reason we're here, the reason we're doing this is because of this wonderful cardmunity we have here. No, we've been trying to touch the chat a little bit when you're doing the talking back and forth podcast. It's not as easy, but again, thank you to Adam's Card Closet, Demo Lover, Rad Dad and B-Dog, Beast, Ripping for Rookies. Lisa, thank you for coming today. Average Joe. I know there's a ton more of you in here. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for watching, and thank you for hitting that like button, hopefully. Plenty of Vladdies, no bows. Sorry. Oh, that's okay, Ripping for Rookies. We wanted to have towards the end of our podcast to talk about some of our favorite videos, some of our favorite moments this week in the cardmunity. I think we both agreed.
We still love you, MFC.
What did MFC? Guess I'm chopped liver. MFC, I'm sorry. I said hi to you in the chat earlier, and you're part of the list today. So let me get there. Well, first of all, we both totally agreed that Ripping for Rookies 2022 archives break video was epic yesterday. So much fun, and congratulations to all the people in that break, including the amazing Shohei Ohtani redemption that Mike pulled. So cool. I think that went to, I want to say Big Ray.
That went to Big Ray.
Yes, awesome. Super cool. I had the Blue Jays and the A's in that, and I pulled about, I don't know, like, what do you think? Like 47, 50 Vladdy cards out of that?
You pulled every variation and some that weren't even on the checklist.
And I was doing the whole Blue Jay. I like Vladdy, don't get me wrong. I love Vladdy cards, but I was going for the Bo Bichette's. Unfortunately, no Bo Bichette's, but that's okay. I got my Canadian friends hitting me up, Shaw and CCB for some Vladdy, so I will be accommodating that for sure. Also, shout out to Mountain Family Cards. He hasn't done a video on it yet, but he did just hit 400 subscribers. So congratulations to Mountain Family for that.
Yeah.
Big Chief Sports just did his 500 sub giveaway. Congratulations to the winner of that. Congratulations, Big Chief. Ooh. I'm having trouble with everybody's name. I'm sorry. Big Chief Sports Cards. Give him a like. Give him a sub. He's at 500. Let's get him to 6. Mountain Family Cards, 400. Give him a like. Give him a sub. Let's get him to 500. Let's move everybody up. Let's all, support one another. If you guys are new, make sure you go check out my guy here, Mr. Enfuego. Give him a like. Give him a sub. He's awesome. Pepino Man's in the house. Thank you for joining us today, man. Appreciate you.
Just do it.
Boggs. W. Voggs is here. I know he's got a birthday coming up in a couple of days. Thanks for being here, man, and happy birthday. Oh, man. It's the 14th inning of the Astros-Mariners game.
World War III just came.
The Yankees are up 4-2. And I heard the Padres-Dodgers game is on a delay or delayed due to the weather.
Yep, they're on a delay.
Yeah. So... what do you think, boss? We think we close to a wrap here? What do you think?
I mean, we pretty much covered everything that we wanted to talk about, but is there anything that the chat would like to know? Any questions out with you guys?
Yeah, guys, hit us up here in the comments. Dodgers supposed to start at 6:40. Okay, so just delayed. Ooh, Zach and Porter. That's a channel I subbed to recently. Father and son channel. Open all kinds of stuff. Thanks for joining today, man. Appreciate you.
So just to go back way in the beginning, just so y'all know, this is going to be a weekly thing, okay? And throughout the week, both Adrian and I, we're going to go ahead and come up with some random topics that we believe you guys would like to know about or discuss. But if there's anything that you guys would like to see on the podcast as far as topics, drop them in the comment section of the chat. We will take feedback from you guys and actually add it on there. Mountain Family, pineapple on pizza is a no-go. Okay,
Oh
but
my God,
anyway,
I love pineapple on pizza, Mountain Family. It's all good.
Boy, if you don't get
yeah.
you
So
made me think of some other good things. Inside the description, I have the Cardmunity Inc. Discord app. That's another way to get a hold of us. Maybe we can even get our own topic line in there. That'd be sweet. Questions for the podcast.
there you go.
This is going to be a weekly thing. The plan right now is every Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And it will be available for replay on YouTube and uploaded tomorrow. And I'll drop links in everywhere I can think of. My Instagram. Make sure you guys check out our Instagrams up here. Check out, community posts. I try to post everywhere. It'll be available on all podcast formats, and I'll have the link for that too. It's just Baseball Junkies podcast. Right now, I'm doing a thing through Buzzsprout. I don't know if that's going to be part of the tagline for it, but I'm going to be getting you guys all that. And then next week, I'll be able to even talk about it here on the podcast and things of that nature. Any questions or concerns, you could probably get a hold of us through that Discord app. DM us on Instagram, things of that nature. I appreciate you guys so much. This is awesome. Love hanging out with the Cardmunity.
Definitely.
You guys have a happy collecting week all week. Enjoy these MLB playoffs. We're all strictly baseball, but I know we got football going on. A lot of other, hockey started up. You guys enjoy sports and enjoy sport card collecting. And we'll catch you all next week.
I will get with Beast sometime during the week to see if he could go ahead and hook us up with some kind of discount off of his OnlyFans. So more to follow on that one.
Dude, what?
Yeah. Beast likes to sort cards and take pictures of his feet.
So, I'm speechless. All right. Adam's Card Closet, have a chipper night. Everybody have a wonderful card collecting night, and we will catch you next week.
Definitely. Appreciate y'all coming.
Bye-bye.